Right then guys, welcome back to the channel. Now before we start this video, please do me a favor, click on the like button, subscribe and leave your comments in the section below because I really want to know what you think about this one. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Now, this is a really important game for both teams. For Newcastle, they want to get into the top 4. They want to build some momentum going into the season. For Arsenal, this is an important game because at the start of the season, I had tipped Arsenal to challenge and to win. But it's not looking great. It is not looking great for Arsenal at all. Right now they're sitting third in the league. They have, dropped some points in recent games. And it's not looking great for Arsenal at all at the moment. Look, for me, I think that Arsenal can do it, but they need to start getting consistent performances and wins as soon as possible. I mean, we're 9 games in at the moment, so it is not the end of the season. It is not over. But as we've seen last season and the season before last, Arsenal challenged for the league and then ended up, not going any further, not winning the league after losing a couple of games, at the business end of the season. So look, for Arsenal, this is a massive blow because the thing about the Premier League is when you want to challenge the Premier League and you go to the big away grounds like the Old Trafford, the St James's Park, the Anfield and Chelsea's ground, you either want to get a draw or you want to win. You want to get a result. What you don't want to do is drop points when you go to the big club homes away. You don't want to do that. You want to get a result, a draw or all 3 points. And Arsenal, this is a massive blow for their title hopes as well. Look, they are struggling at the moment, Arsenal. Martin Odegaard, who has been incredible for them in the past 2-3 seasons. He is the guy that knits everything together. He's injured at the moment. Saka, is on form. He's scoring goals. But you need someone like Odegaard to come in and to do the business. You've got the 2 centre backs, Gabriel and Saliba, who are doing really well. But sometimes when you go to these away grounds, for example at St James's Park, where there's going to be a lot of pressure on you. Newcastle are a really good team. They've got a lot of pace up front. Alexander Isak, who scored the goal in the 12th minute, is a really, really good player. You've got Gordon there. So look, you're up against it. They've got their tails up, Newcastle, because they know that when you come to St James's Park, they have to put pressure on you and they have to try and win. And so what happens with these sort of games is that if you don't, try and get a result there, then, you know that it's going to be a difficult time because when they come to your ground, for example, Arsenal ground, Arsenal need to win this game. But whilst Arsenal was at Newcastle's ground, Arsenal had to get a result. And it's unfortunate they didn't get it. In terms of stats wise, it was quite, an Arsenal's game in terms of possession. Arsenal had over 60, percent possession. Newcastle had, the rest. Arsenal had 10 shots. Newcastle had about 9 shots. But then Newcastle had about 6 shots on target, and Arsenal had 1 shot on target. And I think that's where the difference is. Where when you go through these away games, even if you're gonna have, less shots on target, you want to be clinical. You have to be clinical because you're not gonna get many chances. Yes, you're gonna get a lot of shots on target, but you're not gonna get a lot of clear-cut chances. And Arsenal just having 1 shot on target is definitely not good enough, for their title hopes. And I think it's gonna really, they're gonna feel it. we don't want Manchester City winning the league again. At least I don't want Manchester City winning the league again. But the way it's looking, it looks like it might be City and Liverpool that are going to go right up to the wire in terms of competing for the league this year. And I thought Arsenal was going to be there. But, it's not too late. But I think that if Arsenal don't pick up momentum in the next 2-3 games, they're gonna find themselves wanting at the tail end of the season, and it's gonna be really difficult for them to get back into contention for the league this year. For Newcastle, they would want to continue their form. They're doing well at the moment. They want to get top four. They're doing really well in the Carabao Cup. They are also in the FA Cup as well. So, for Newcastle, they just want to keep doing what they're doing, winning games. As I said, they've got a lot of pace up front. They've got some really good players in the midfield. Tonali's back after his, suspension. So he's also right up for it. And they just need to keep their momentum, need to keep winning games, especially at home. At St James's Park, they need to win their games, and I think that will stand them in good stead as well. So look, it was a really interesting game. I don't know this year if Arsenal is performing well away from home like they did last season, because they went to City and ultimately got a draw, a game that was quite controversial with the red card, and Man City basically peppering Arsenal and putting a lot of pressure on them, and then coming away with a draw, which was a good point, because going to Man City and getting a draw is a very good point. But then you need to do the same at Newcastle, they need to do the same at Chelsea, they need to do the same at Tottenham, which they beat Tottenham, to be fair. So, they've done their work when it comes to beating Tottenham at Tottenham's ground, but they need to start picking up points if they're going to challenge for the league, which I thought this year Arsenal was either going to challenge for the league, like really challenging, or they're actually going to win the league. And so, for Arsenal, it is a game to forget and to focus on the next game and go from there. But I'm really, interested to know what Arsenal fans think. Let me know your comments in the section below. Do you think it's still early in the season? Do you think you can claw back, your way back into challenging for the league, although you're third? So, technically you're still challenging for the league, but it seems as though you're losing your grip. And for Newcastle fans, where do you see your club ending this season? Do you see top four? Do you see the club winning any of the trophies, either Carabao Cup or the FA Cup? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Really excited to interact with other fans of massive football clubs like Arsenal and Newcastle, and to get some people on the channel as well to discuss further. So let me know what you think in this comment section below. Of course, keep subscribing, liking this video. Let's get the community up, and then I'll see you guys on the next one.